That was 21 at the time. It's just you guys weren't around because that was a very, very long time ago.
21 at the time. I don't think Budweiser was around then, was it?
Oh man, that was Prohibition. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Prohibition. No one was
yeah.
drinking.
No one was drinking.
No, that was Brian's era.
Maple syrup dripping from his fake roll. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he should.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Lager Room, guys. It is Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. Jersey Johnny coming at you. And with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Hi, guys.
How the hell are you?
I'm good. Happy, what did I say? This Geek/Nerd Pride Day.
Geek/Nerd Pride
Head-
Day.
head
Happy
sense.
Geek/Nerd Pride Day.
That's the Vader shirt.
There you
And
go.
why I've tilted the camera a little bit so you guys can see the Empire Strikes Back poster back there.
His inner Geek/Nerd wanted you to see that. So.
Yeah, and wow, I don't have anything to eat.
Holy shit. What? Really?
Oh, boy. Oh, this could be fun. I did eat prior, though. I did eat prior.
Nothing to eat. This is probably a first, actually. I think this is the
first since the first Tom show.
Since the first Tom show that you haven't eaten anything. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's also National Wine Day, if anybody cares.
Oh yes, it is National Wine
Happy
Day.
National Wine Day.
But this is a beer cast, so.
But it's a beer cast. So
Oh, we could have drank a barley wine.
We could have drank a barley wine.
Oh,
That's true. Didn't think about that. I could go down and drink a warm one because I don't have any chill.
Yeah, I've got
Well, it's not warm, room temperature, I should say. It's in the cellar.
Does Succub account?
Suck my what?
Yeah, very nice.
All right.
Okay, before we deteriorate too longer.
Before we deteriorate too longer, why don't we just jump right in with 2 feet and bring in our guests. Guests, plural.
Our two guests
Two
that
guests.
each have 2 feet, so that's 4 feet.
That would be 4 feet.
Oh, damn, I did math. I broke one of our rules.
You did math.
I did
You
math.
suck. What are you doing?
I'm being a geek.
All right. Well, today on the show from Croydon, Pennsylvania, Neshaminy Creek Brewing, we have Kyle Park and Joe Granat right there. There they are. I'll unmute them so they can actually say hi.
Yeah.
There they go.
Hello, hello.
Their names right there. Joe
going
Granat, Kyle
on?
Park, Neshaminy Creek Brewing. There he goes. How you doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
Oh, just peachy.
Listen, and note the backdrop behind Kyle. He's got another version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also, and I see what you call it, Han Solo and Carbonite back there.
I mean, we could do a lot of this. I didn't realize it was Nerd Geek Pride Day. The
There you
basement
go.
is full of things we could talk about.
Well, I actually got a question for you. You've been in craft beer so long now. Explain your cover photo.
Oh, geez. Yeah. So these are some of our employees.
There, I figured it. Which one is Joe? Which one's Joe?
Yeah, well, he's cropped out. We cropped him
Joe's
out.
cropped out. That makes sense. Good move. Good move.
He was too ugly for the photo.
Yeah, these are all the people I miss drinking with at the tap room. You know,
There you go.
they don't bar stools anymore.
I saw that and I was like, okay, it's Geek Nerd Pride Day. We definitely have to put that up. So,
Yeah.
folks, those of you just listening to the audio podcast, you're going to want to go to Facebook or YouTube and just check that picture out. So you'll know what we're talking about. Anyway, so what are you guys drinking? Let's jump in. Let's start opening these cans and drink away.
I've got the tropical shape of haze to come.
Tropical
Looking
shape
for
of
that.
haze to
Looking
come.
for that.
Sorry,
Oh.
I might have bought.
My fault. It's my fault.
Yeah.
Like most things.
I thought you would have had a good shot at that, Dave. I'm surprised. I'm surprised you weren't.
No. Actually, I talked to them, and they say they sell out of shape. This is the Carney buy right. They sell out of shape of hops to come and the tropical like that.
Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what you should have told them, Dave, and this would help Joe and Kyle and everybody else. We should have told them just buy more than one case at a time.
There
Then
you go.
you won't run out as fast.
I did. I told them. I said, look, I've recently moved into town. You really need to increase the beer that you bring in because I will drink you dry.
It's crazy. I actually went over to two places today that should have had shape, and they were out as well. So
I think
but
so.
hey, you know what though? I mean, think about this. This is a good problem. Okay.
To have. It's a good problem,
problem
to have.
It's a good problem to have.
Is this a production issue or is this a sales issue?
It's a sales issue. They're flying through it. The cans. I mean, packaged goods have been flying off the shelves for over a year now, for obvious reasons, and it continues to do so. So again, a good problem to have.
So the sales guys should be pushing more product.
The store owners should be buying more product.
Yes, I like that.
I like
that better.
Coming from my background.
It's because we got two sales guys right here. It's like maybe you're not being persuasive enough.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I really don't know about that.
Speak for themselves. You sold out of one case. Wouldn't you like to sell another one?
Exactly.
You know?
Selling out of two cases rather than one case. Well, that'd be more.
You make more money. Look at that. See how that works? You make more money and you make more people happy. So there you go. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
What are you drinking, Joe?
So I have Bumbling Servant, which is actually a new IPA.
What beer are you drinking?
This is. I felt it was perfect for the podcast.
Man, you walked yourself right into that one.
It's a new IPA. Just came out with from us in our variety pack, actually. So Belgian style IPA. It's awesome, man. I had it a couple weeks ago for the first time. Really, you don't see too many of those out there in general. So it's really, really good. And in my favorite Hot Rods Barbecue / Neshaminy Creek pint glass.
Look at that.
Man, that's a collector's item right there.
Classic.
That reminds me, I got to get out to see Chris in his new role again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do. One of our producers wants to say what's up, Chris. Brian.
What's up, Brian?
There you go.
Hello, Brian.
One of the fellow dipshits.
Yeah, and he was mentioned in the intro today. So, but I didn't hear it. Go back and listen to the intro. You'll love it.
So, Kyle, I don't know if you know that we've got a group on Facebook with a bunch of us on it. It's called the Dippa Gang, and I've just come to calling us collectively as the dipshits or the Dippa-shits. I don't know.
601. It's all good. So, what are you drinking there, Samurai?
Since I couldn't really find it in Shamanity up here in the urban jungle, what I could find was Three Floyd's Gumball Head.
Well, that's not a bad beer.
It's not a bad second.
It doesn't suck.
This beer does not suck. It's oh god. When I heard that these guys were coming to New Jersey, actually I was in Rhode Island when I heard they were coming to New Jersey. Because if you remember, I kept telling you guys, "Hey, guess what? We got Three Floyds." And
yes, you do.
I forget who said, "Yeah, we're getting them next week." Damn it, can't rub that in your face anymore. But now I'm glad because now I'm back to Jersey.
That's one of my favorite Three Floyds beers. It's probably my favorite Three Floyds beer. That's not a barrel-aged stout or a heavier stout or a heavier beer. So
I actually drank a lot of that beer last summer. Drank a lot of that.
Yeah.
That was yeah.
In fact, the last time I was at Three Floyds, I actually picked up a bunch of bottles, single bottles and everything else. But I picked up a case of Gumball Head, and that was obviously well prior to them being in Jersey. But yeah, and half of the case didn't make it home, so that was good. But anyway, I will start this show off with a 19-ounce.
You have a source?
Oh.
Source of light.
19 ounce?
Wow.
Yeah, it's the bigger 19.2 ounce can. If you see it.
Did I just see today they're opening a spot in Philly?
They're opening in Fishtown. Yeah.
Yep, in Fishtown.
Philly, the source of Fishtown.
I wonder if they're taking over Goose Island's spot.
I don't know. Good question. If the building behind them in the picture is the spot, then it's not Goose Island spot.
No, it's not. But that's a good picture to put in to introduce that you're moving to Fishtown because it says Fishtown.
This is true. They might have just found a wall that said Fishtown on it, taking the picture. Yeah. Who knows? We'll have to ask Greg and find out. But yeah, this is a nice little crispy boy.
Nice.
As the kids say these days. So take the obligatory picture here. There we go. But yeah, no. So I'll start with that. As again, I was unable to locate any shape.
Just
again, good problem to have. So they are no, and I told Joe too. I was like, you got to let me know whenever, especially whenever anybody anywhere near me, I'll take a ride, gets the tropical shape in because I'm flying right over there and getting some. So
yeah, it's definitely my favorite of the variants we've done so far. So
Nice.
But we've got some new ones coming, so who knows?
So to listen, everybody watching, you see any of the Shape of Hops that come in the store, grab them before they're gone in a couple of days.
Are you releasing into Jersey any of the smaller batch hazies?
Not at the moment, no. We do a run of taproom hazies, and they're just such a small amount where
Sure.
it's,
yeah, that's why I asked. So.
Yeah. Every now and then, Kegel will sneak over, the state line for an event
for an event or something. Sure.
Yeah, and hopefully now that bars are starting to come back in Jersey, you'll see a little bit more of that than you have over the last year. But,
very nice. Very nice. All right, before we get too far off into the tangent end of the show, which always seems to happen.
It usually happens after the first beer's gone.
Exactly. So let's dial it back in. Let's start. Who wants to go first? Let's get your backstory. What first got you in? Let's start with Joe. Joe, what first got you into craft beer?
What's your origin story?
What's your origin story? Where did you first come from in the world of craft beer?
Working or just kind of
in general,
enjoying?
just like enjoying drink. Let's start with drinking and go from there.
So
it's a 9-hour show. So
there we go. We got all night. It's fine.
Sit back. I'm listening.
I grew up in Woodbridge. So there is a brew pub down there called JJ Biddings. JJ
burgers.
Oh my God. The chili, the burgers, everything about that place was my favorite. So that was kind of my little home away from home for a while. I actually worked in Manhattan for a long time, unrelated to beer, and JJ Biddings is next to the train station. So I was able to basically get off the train and go right into JJ's and they had like this killer. Oh my God, their happy hour was I think it was like $2 and $2.50 pints,
something like that, if I recall.
It was really good.
The train station parking lot and JJ Biddings parking lot is the same parking lot.
So. Correct. Yes,
because Biddings used to be the train station, right?
Yeah, it was part of the train station. Yeah, it was the actual building. Yeah.
So that was kind of where I started, I guess, with craft beer when I found out that I was like, wait a minute, you guys make the beer like here, like in the actual building, it's made here.
You push a button and it comes out where?
Yeah, exactly. That's where I started drinking craft, honestly, and that was I guess sometime in my 20s,
which was about 30 years ago, right?
Yeah, 35 actually.
Yeah. So that puts you at my age. That doesn't work.
So what brought it into a career? What made you say, you know what, I want to do this for a living?
I hated my corporate job.
That's always a good reason.
I hated it. I went there every day, and I didn't want to be there. And I think I knew a couple people working in craft at that point in time that I had met at like tab takeovers, and I just felt like they had the coolest job. I would always kind of be that guy at the bar chatting with like the sales rep and stuff like, oh, so like, what do you guys do? And one day I quit my job. I just quit my job. I saved up for like a year or so and prepared myself. And I just walked in, I quit. And it's actually not that easy to just kind of get a beer job. So I was unemployed for a long time. So,
this is where you do that thing that we talked about, where you get the job first.
Did not have the job first. So I just kind of figured it out. I worked my way. I did some freelance writing. I did some writing for like I tried to get into like beer magazines and stuff like that. I did manage to get into Draft magazine, which was pretty cool at some point in time. Sure. And little by little, kind of worked my way in, and someone gave me a shot. I started doing samplings for Flying Fish. I went to a tap takeover. I met the sales manager, and I was like, dude, I'm looking for work. And he was like, can you pour beer on Friday nights? And I was like, I sure as hell can. And that's how it all started. So
you know why? Yeah. You know why he asked you to do that, right? So he didn't,
because he didn't want to do it. Yeah, because he didn't want to do it anymore. No, nobody wants to do it. So I started there part time, and it all kind of fell from there.
There you go. Yep. And then you landed at Neshaminy Creek.
I did. And
there you go.
Yes.
And the rest is, as they say, history.
Going on 4 years. almost 4 years.
Wow.
And as we've learned prior to the show, Kyle was not responsible for the
Kyle,
hiring.
No.
Kyle was not responsible. He
Whatever
washes
has
his hands of the whole thing.
Yeah, whatever has happened in the past is not my fault.
Gotcha. All right, so Kyle, same thing. What did you?
Kyle Pontius Pilot.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, sort of similar. You know, it's one of those things where you get into it when you're a little bit younger. I was in college. I went to Temple down in Philly, and one of my good friends, his dad had been a home brewer for a long time. So I kind of started to hear about that from my good buddy Doug. He was always bringing back some of his dad's homebrew back to school. So there was that. And then also being in Philly, it's a great beer town and it was super accessible at the time. Hadn't really gotten too crazy the way it is nowadays. And you could like go to yards and no one else was there, and just like hang out all day. And it was just that you would get your sampler, but they would just keep giving you samples. It was like, and then, we got to see it change over years and, now there's a wait out the door or whatever, which is great. But, so it was like kind of the perfect time to like be in there and just sort of be able to hang out at all these local breweries and the bars. Even the college bars at the time started to bring in some good local beer. And kind of the same thing that Joe said, like they would have these super cheap specials. I don't think that many people were drinking it, so they had to try and push it out. So like I remember the one bar on campus had Wither an Idiot bottles for $2. And like it was such a bad idea. But my friends who were actually like into it, we'd go hang out and grab some of those. And I was a film major, so I quickly realized that wasn't going to do anything. Which would have been useful information before I decided to
take that major.
Yeah. But I started to see the local beer scene really blowing up, and I was like, all right, there's got to be a job in here somewhere. But I was doing the same thing, just like writing when I could, trying to get into different publications. I had a little beer blog I was trying to do because I started homebrewing myself. So doing that, going to homebrew clubs. And then I got a part-time job at a bottle shop, just to kind of be around it, in it, figure out where I can squeeze myself in. And that's where I met two of the owners of Neshaminy Creek at the time. They were also working there as they were getting ready to open the brewery, which was super cool. And they were in the homebrew club I was in, the Aliens, that meets the Unionville Inn. And then from there, I went to the wholesaler side. I got a job with Riglio, which is one of the big Philly wholesalers. But that was like more of like the office back end stuff, which wasn't as interesting. I did get to do some of their marketing stuff, which was more in line with what I wanted to do. And then I started doing the whole, just sending out like, hey, if you guys need a sales or a marketing, to anyone I knew basically. And eventually, Neshaminy Creek was expanding a little bit. So they needed a sales guy. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, remember me? Your best friend from the bottle shop and the homebrew club? Yeah. So yeah, connections definitely help in a business like this, especially at the time when it was like a little more homegrown.
Sure. It helps today too, but
yes, never hurts to know somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. In pretty much any foray into any business you're going to go in.
Yeah.
Cool. So the Shamany Creek's been going for over 10 years now, right? They started in 2010, I believe it was.
So we didn't sell any beer until 2012. I know a lot of the info online says 2010. That is when they got the name and decided
registered the name
thing, and that's when the whole process started.
Sure.
So it took them a couple years. Our first beer went out the door June 2012. But
it's like Cricket Hill story, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. They could have anybody could have been if they got their proverbial crap together and were able to get things going, there would have been a lot more beer a lot sooner all over the place. So
yes.
So,
they don't make it easy.
No, never. But that's cool. Are there?
But it is a little easier than it used to be.
So who was it now? So talk a little bit about the history, if you will, in Neshaminy. Both of you, tag team it if you want.
Yeah. So it was the three
Kyle,
guys.
You seem to know more, obviously, because you've been from the inception, so to speak. So.
For better or worse, yes.
Right.
I was around the early days.
Depends on how you want to look at it.
But yeah, I mean, it was cool. I got to I was friends with them, so I got to go and check out the space before it was filled up with tanks and everything. So I've seen it kind of from nothing into what it is now, which is really cool. But it was 3 guys, Jeremy, Rob, and Steve. And they kind of either knew each other through beer circles or music circles. So if you're familiar with Neshaminy Creek, there's a lot of music tie-ins. We used to do a lot of shows at the brewery, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of part of our DNA. So yeah, it was the 3 guys, and we really wanted to be Bucks County's first real production brewery. We didn't just want to be a tap room situation. We wanted to have, reliable beer out on the shelf. So we set out to do that, and took a little while, especially because we weren't canning right away.
Right.
That came a couple years later, just as bombers were going away, but that's what we were doing at first, bombers and kegs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but we wanted to kind of plant our flag in Bucks County because there really wasn't anything else at the time.
Sure. Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really, it's you got to love it when you're opening up a place, and you got to love when you open up a place and there's not a lot else around you. So you become the automatic, go-to, and then everything else spreads out from there, and you hopefully maintain the center of the area, so to speak, focus-wise.
We've talked about this a few times in the show with other breweries, because
Yeah.
you had a few breweries open around you, and John likes the term Coopetation,
Yeah.
Coopetation, where at first you started off as the one go-to, but then as the other breweries open, now the area becomes the destination. And a lot of breweries, even though they see other breweries open in the area, they actually have their visitations increase as people are seeing it's hey, it's worth driving out there because there's 2-3 breweries right there.
There's plenty of beer tourism, just even day trips and vacations. People,
Sure.
do around it. So, but
when I plan my vacation, first thing I do,
Oh,
where
sure.
are the breweries?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that will determine where I stay.
Oh yeah. That,
When
You see that in Maine. I mean, you can go to Maine and
you can just you don't even have to plan it. You just go stay in Maine anywhere.
I'm going to Maine in August. We're staying in Portland for a few nights, right around the corner from Oxbow Blendery.
There you go.
Seriously, just walk right around.
And you're right around the corner from Oxbow Blendery. You're still not that far from Lone Pine. You're not that far from Rising Tide. You're not that far from
Good fire. Good fire.
barreled souls, cough, cough, barreled souls.
Well, he's got to pass Barreled Souls to get there.
For that one,
and,
Joe.
Brian wants to know when we're going to Maine. We're going to do a Log Room Guys trip to Maine. So
Our one owner,
on
Rob,
location
there right now.
Yeah, we need a bus.
Is he really? Is Rob there?
Yeah, our one owner is up there right now for the week. He did same trip I did a couple years ago, Maine for a couple days, and then went up to Acadia. But He's up there.
We're doing it the other way around. We're doing Acadia, then we're coming down to Portland.
Nice. Yeah.
There you go. Brian has been asking that for 5 years now, he said. So.
Yeah.
Yes, he really has been. Longer.
He really has.
So that means, Joe, you can actually get in touch with Rob and have him stop at Barreled Souls for you.
I should. I didn't know. I will. I'm going to
Not
text
that
him
Dave
right
won't.
now.
Rob can
that I won't.
also stop at Barreled Souls.
No, Barreled Souls. The first night we're staying in Kittery, and hopefully Barreled Souls will be open when we blow by.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, on the way back, they should be open.
That's one of the coolest breweries I've ever been to.
Oh yeah.
The only problem is during COVID they were selling out of their warehouse.
Yeah.
So when I did that one trip, it was I knocked on the brewery's door. They're like, yeah, no, you need to go down the road and around the corner. They're like, okay.
Yeah, Barreled Souls that's a really cool space.
I almost texted Joe. This deal is getting worse.
The deal is off.
The deal's off. I'm not doing it.
Get your own beer.
You talk about beer tourism, like I said, I mentioned before about the Three Floyds. Last time I was there, it was actually a 10-day trip. We hit 50 breweries in 10 days.
That's easy
and,
to do.
And that wasn't the only thing we were doing either, So it was it was pretty cool. But,
I don't know if there's still there used to be a website, I think it was called Beer Mapping.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a great website if you're ever going on a trip, just and you could filter it by brew pub, beer store, brewery. It was an awesome website. I feel like it never got enough, attention.
My Google Maps knows me now. If I pull up any particular region, it pops up all the breweries onto the screen for me. It's like, oh, there's that one. There's a pin.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
funny.
Good example of Big Brother helping you.
Yes.
Right. So.
My Google Maps does the exact same thing, except for it fills in liquor stores and bars because that's what I look up for work.
Right.
And aquarium supply stores.
And aquarium supply stores. Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. So
We would ask Joe to show you his aquarium because
we
it's
don't
just
want him
off
to screw up the
to
laptop again.
screen left. But last time he tried that, we had to get him to
I can
reboot.
wait. Let's see.
No, please.
Take a picture.
Just do it.
Take
Just
a
do it
picture.
really slowly. There you go. Up there it is.
There
right there.
it is.
There it
There's
is.
the aquarium tank.
And the sign
So
that
what is
says,
that?
it says drunk.
600 gallon tank. Is that what it is?
Does that sign say
125.
125.
125.
And it's filled. It's filled with gin, right?
Yeah, it's
I'll just
Dip the
having
glass
fish.
in, and
it's actually my daughter's
fishy gin, but
bath. That's where we.
your
that's
daughter's
where we
bath.
bathe.
There you go. She takes a bath in the aquarium. There you go.
We spent all of quarantine down there, just just watching.
That's actually true.
It is actually true. It is actually true. I will vouch for Joe that we had several.
We got to see a lot of his fish during
Yeah.
quarantine.
He did.
Look at
And,
this. Does that growth look normal on him?
Look at that. Especially, and the one night that started, I think, at 7:00 and ended at 2:00, I believe.
Oh, that was a fun night.
That was
I've been told it ended at 2. I don't really remember, but
that was rough.
it was
There
interesting.
was 4 of us lasted till 2. You were one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Joe fell out before 2, I believe.
Yeah, I believe
Not
we did
too
a
long.
bottle share by ourselves. I was like opening up like barley wines. I'm like, yeah, guys.
At one point I said, "Yeah, get whatever out of the fridge," and she was bringing over 18% barrel aged. I'm like,
yeah.
I found out the next morning when I saw the bottles. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
we were-
no!
And when we saw the ABV start to rise, everyone started upping their ABV game,
Yeah,
and
was
it
like,
just.
yeah.
And
It was
then
a
we
contest
actually,
at that point.
we actually all I think signed off around midnight, and then Gene restarted it.
Yeah, he was like, he wasn't done.
He wasn't.
Done. He was not
Gene,
done.
Gene's never done.
He was not done.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I found all those quarantine like happy hours or little parties or whatever to be a lot worse than I feel like in person stuff because I would just hang out by myself and I had to finish the whole thing and just talking on Zoom or whatever and
And you don't have to wear pants.
which is
Just don't stand up. That's all.
what's great about right now
Just stand
too.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's perfect. Yeah.
Exactly.
You notice
Um,
neither John
never-
nor I ever
nor-
stand up during the show.
Never. Never.
Ever.
Mm-mm. You'll never know. But in any event, let's talk about some of the beers from the Shamany Creek. Some, give us your flagships. What are you making now? What's new?
I'm gonna
What's new?
yeah,
You want me to talk about it?
What's new?
I feel like I'm at work.
Your
What's
work.
new?
Yeah. Sell me beer, Joe. Come on.
This wasn't gonna all be fun, Joe.
You need to like brush up on your sampling pitches and everything.
There you go. there
Yeah.
you go. Consider this
I'm
like
a little
it's
rusty.
practice. It's practice. There you go.
Pretend that we own a bar.
There you go.
Oh, I've
Or
sold
the-
John beer before. It's
Okay.
hard. It's
so
not
pretend-
easy.
Pretend the 381 still open.
Actually, it is pretty easy. But this is
Yeah, John's really easy. Just ask Jess.
It just turned into me and him drinking at the bar, and then me having to go home because I
Well,
couldn't
that's
go
the-
anywhere else.
That's the hard part of it. Okay,
That's why
so
it's easy.
381
So-
still open. John's the beer manager. Pitch him the new stuff.
New stuff. Actually, this year I would say we have a lot of new stuff.
I'll take it.
I would say we definitely
Okay, moving on to our next question. Man, that was hard.
I'll take
Told
one.
you. There you go.
Yeah, so this year we redid our release schedule a little bit. In previous years, I would say that we probably put out a lot of beers that it just gets to the point where a lot of people have had them. People are familiar with them, so we definitely kind of revamped that a little bit. We just did a beer called Beach Fuzz that just came out about a week ago. It's a Belgian wit with peaches, which is awesome. It's like perfect crushable summer beer. And actually, we did do that beer last year. That was new last year, right, Kyle?
Yeah, last year was the first time we did it. We did it a lot later into summer.
I was going to say, I remember having one of those last year.
Yep.
Yeah, because I went down to the brewery last year during quarantine when it came out, and I remember watching people leave the brewery with cases in their hands, which was really cool. So I went in there and grabbed a few 6-packs. But yeah, so that just came out, and we're doing another new beer called Summer Dollars, which is coming out, which is a blood orange goza with sea salt.
Nice.
So this is, I think this is Kyle's baby though, because it has a really cool reference. I will let Kyle explain the reference.
Explain the reference.
Oh, it's nerd and geek pride day, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a Jaws reference, but it's something the mayor says in Jaws. He's talking to the chief, and they're trying to get the beaches open. It's like, we're a summer town, we need summer dollars. So
this is actually the second Jaws reference on this show. The first one, that was
well, the first one was
Sean Lapolito.
Sean Lapolito. He wanted to do this for the top threes. He wanted to do top 10 beer moments in cinema, and of course, the number one beer moment in cinema is Quint crushing the Gansett can.
Yeah, it's perfect. Like if I was Narragansett, and they are, they're doing a great. They built that, and it's great.
Crush it like Quint.
Crush it like Quint. And they went back to that packaging too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
great. It's worked on me.
And they also, and I haven't had it yet, they do a coffee milk beer.
Yeah, they do. Autocrat or something like
Autocrat. Yeah, well, Autocrat's the brand of coffee milk syrup, which I still have. I think half the bottle I brought down from Rhode Island with me.
Right.
Because it's something you can't explain, but wonderful. But yeah, it's the Autocrat coffee milk beer.
Right. That's good, but this is not Narragansett show.
I know, but the funny thing is, it's funny that Narragansett came up, because anytime that I would mention the Shamany Creek to somebody, they're like, "Oh, so there's Narragansett. There's down. No, I'm looking for the Shamany Creek. No, but there's Narragansett. But I'm looking for the Shamany Creek." Just kept confusing. Do you get that a lot?
Because it starts with the same letter doesn't make it the same beer.
I don't think
definitely not
anybody.
the same
At that
beer.
point, just give me some Nickelbrook, and we'll be good to go.
Or Nickelback? No one listens to Nickelback.
Nickelbrook. Nickelback came out with a line of beer. I told you. Almost through the first beer. Tangent City.
One beer gone.
No,
So what else new is there, Joe?
So Beach Fuzz, Summer
Beach
Dollars.
Fuzz, Summer Dollars. Philly Pucker is actually releasing next week, which is what did this?
Philly Pucker. Don't have too many and say that fast.
I think Pucker, I think Puck, I think hockey, and I think of the Flyers mascot. You need to get him on the label.
Funny you say that.
Funny you should say that.
What is that?
Segue number one.
Huh. Maybe that was the original idea, and maybe we tried to do it, and then maybe we got scared of a lawsuit because maybe some other breweries that we're friends with said, "Oh no, don't put gritty on your label." You may get a call from the Flyers organization.
There you go. Can you put like an old picture of Eric Lindros on the picture on the label?
That I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Gritty's legal team is a lot bigger than Eric's, so you might have okay with that.
Gritty's had some problem punching kids out, so he's got his own legal team.
Yeah,
I think it would have to at that point. So
yeah, we it certainly crossed our mind, but here we are.
there you go.
It looked good on the can.
I'm sure it did.
It looked great. We'll show you guys after.
Yeah, after this, we'll show you what could have been.
Exactly. I definitely want to see that. Did it have any coconut in it?
Having said that, the label we have now is awesome. So
You know what, John? Just for you, we're releasing a coconut beer as well next week.
It's just for me.
Nice, just for John. Despite that, John's favorite adjunct is maple. My favorite adjunct is what, John?
Coconut. There you go.
There you go. So we're actually sending our anniversary beer. So our nine-year anniversary is coming up. We've never sent an anniversary beer for the most part into like New Jersey or just in distribution in general.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a continuation from last year's anniversary beer, which was this year has been coconuts. So we're doing a follow-up to that. This year has also been coconuts. It's got a really big coconut. What's that?
There's not much changed.
This year's also been coconut.
It's really not different.
Yeah.
Now, is it a stout?
It's not. It's actually
What
it's
kind
a
of
it's a wheat. It's a wheat with lime and coconut.
a wheat with lime and coconut.
So you put the lime in the coconut.
Hey.
So yeah, last year we did just a coconut wheat. This is the sequel. We're just not much has changed, but one thing changed.
You're adding lime.
This is the Sesame Street song beer.
There you go. Yeah.
You're well. It's actually it's not a big change, but it's definitely a noticeable change. I mean,
Yeah, it'll be noticeable.
You can't. It's hard to hide lime. So,
Yes.
We can smuggle them.
well, not a lime, the flavor line.
We were used to having these big anniversary parties at the brewery. We'd get a day full of bands and food trucks and dunk tanks and bouncy houses and stuff.
Right.
That it used to be a big thing for us. And then obviously last year we weren't able to do that, so we sent out our anniversary beer because we used to only release it at the party. So we sent it out a little bit into Philly this year because we're not doing a full blown party again.
Right.
So we're sending out the anniversary bear a little bit wider, but next year will be our kind of 10-year anniversary. So
who's in the dunk tanks?
Yeah, I don't think
I can't swim. I can't swim.
Oh,
That's why he likes aquariums.
There you go.
He can stand outside the
He can
water.
stand outside the water, isn't it? Yeah. So,
it was always in June, so people were volunteering. They were happy to be in the
Sure.
dump. It would be
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
a little sticky, but
Well, it's going to be in the 90s tomorrow, so tomorrow will be a good day for that.
Yeah, that's why I took the day off to go biking.
Yeah. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully I don't get hit by lightning.
any old beers that are discontinued that either of you loved and would love to see come back? And
Yes.
Or maybe pushing to come back?
Yes.
Joe was real quick on
Joe's,
that.
I knew he
Yes.
would be. Well,
You care to share?
that was a lead in. That means
Oh,
it
I
wasn't
thought
just
it was just like a question. The
yes or
answer
no?
was yes.
Yes. Okay. Next.
I would
to
say
share.
my favorite beer, even as a customer, before I worked for the company, it's always been Mudbank Milk Stout. It's just perfect across the board. It's a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of touch of like coffee notes. We did bring that back in variety packs. I believe over the winter. I think that came back.
Yep.
So yeah.
makes
So,
sense.
but there's definitely a plan to bring back. We kind of like have conversations amongst ourselves about what I guess like retired beers we kind of bring back, and I think a lot of customers enjoy that too because we there's one beer that we make that gets asked for all the time, and Kyle, you know exactly what beer I'm talking about. It's a coffee version of our beer John, so we call it Coffee John.
Coffee John.
And that's a dry hopped pale ale, and it is the number one beer I would say that I get asked for when it's coming out, which is really interesting. And
When's it
so,
coming out?
When's it coming out?
it's not. That's it.
So,
Yeah.
What about Hazy John?
Hazy John's on a little bit of a hiatus as well. We did it last year. This is a problem. We've done so many different kinds of beers, and there's only so much room on the schedule.
of course.
And
We have so many tanks.
yeah,
course.
you get new blood at the brewery. We got a new head brewer, and he wants to do his own thing. But then me and Joe are out there like, well, remember, everyone really liked Coffee John. Like, so it's a tugging. It's a tough fine line.
Oh yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah. Hey.
Trying to do new stuff and then trying to keep some of those older brands alive.
For anybody out there that doesn't know what John stands for, how about it?
I'm not from Pennsylvania. That's all you, Kyle.
All right. Yeah. So John is a word that is born in Philadelphia that just sort of became the go-to word for anything, which isn't a very good definition. But if you're from the area, you just use it in place of like, it could be anything, have you had this new John from the Neshaminy Creek? And they may not be talking about John beer. They're just talking about the new beer.
The new beer, yeah.
Or if we're talking about Joe, you see this John over here with that scraggly John on his face? Like that, it can do that.
I do need to ask.
So it can be used as
why-
replacement for a noun, replacement for a descriptive word. It's a very multifunctional
It is. It's anything.
Definitely.
four-letter word. There's a lot of multifunctional four-letter words.
But since you pointed out the facial hair, I'm trying to figure out, Joe, as a kid, did you watch wrestling? Were you a big Lou Albino fan?
I know him actually because I did watch wrestling as a kid. I
Does
wasn't
that-
necessarily
personally?
a fan, but no, I don't know him. Like we
We
don't
need to
hang
put
out
little
and
rubber
stuff.
bands
A
in
couple
there.
rubber
and
bands. Yeah, you got to do the rubber
That's all you need.
I've been
And-
rating it.
And then you could be Cyndi Lauper's dad.
Yes, we did see the picture of the braided one.
Now, her I actually met. There you go.
Really?
I did.
Did you have the beard when you met her? Then she.
I didn't.
Dad!
No.
How did you meet Cyndi Lauper? I want to know.
You got to hear the story.
Back to John in a second.
How'd you meet that,
Inquiring
John?
minds want to know.
Yeah.
So in my corporate, when I worked in corporate, I worked in the Rockefeller Center building, and the one with the big Christmas balls and the fountain, and they record XM Sirius. They record that next door in the 1221. I was in 1251. I believe she came to the wrong building, and she was in like 1251 or whatever, and I was up at the front desk. So I did actually get a chance to meet her. It was pretty
There you
cool.
go. Very nice.
Nice.
It wasn't really exciting. We didn't like
Yeah.
hang out and like go party or anything, which, you know.
Whatever.
No, even though she just wants to have fun.
She didn't tell you
I
she
was
wanted to have
seeing-
fun
threw
and
it
go
out
hang
there
out.
for you.
Yeah.
That was like a lob. That was
There
was
you go.
right there.
I'm going to hit that one out of the
Threw
park.
us a beach ball.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
in any event, that's cool.
But yeah, so John, I'll circle back.
Circle back.
So that's what John means in Philly and the surrounding area.
Right.
We took it and turned it into an acronym, which stands for Juicy Ale with Nugget. So it's a pale ale that heavily features nugget hops, gives a lot of juicy characteristics to the flavor profile. Perfect kind of name for it. And we've taken it and spun it off into the Hazy John. We've done Coffee John. We're trying to see if there's any other spin-offs we can do. But yeah, definitely a Philly-centric thing. The further you go away, the fewer and few people understand.
You can theme it, make it John Binks.
There you go.
Yeah,
John Binks.
we'll
There
do
you go.
that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
No.
that's really bad. But,
I mean,
ladies and gentlemen, this has been the etymology hour. But in any event, or the Philly etymology hour. So that
I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if they've mentioned John on Mayor of Easttown yet. I don't know if it's come up on the show. I know a lot of talk about Wawa and her accent has been going on, but
Oh, that's that, and the SNL skit, right? Yeah.
There you go.
there's already a beer named after that. That was like 2 days afterwards, I think. They were,
Really.
so
That's pretty funny.
And was that last show I drank a Wawa beer?
You did. You drank a Wawa
there
beer.
you go.
You did.
It wasn't as awful as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. That was the 2SP and Wawa collab, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a coffee stout. It wasn't that bad.
It was a holiday coffee stout. He drank it on last week's show.
Yeah, so it was a little
Timely.
Yeah.
Very
We
timely.
did a cool collab like that.
With
Yeah,
Wawa?
with Wawa.
Different
Wow.
chain with a different Pennsylvania chain.
Different
Okay.
chain.
What, Turkey Hill or
No,
Share?
Sheets.
Share.
I was waiting for
Sheets. Oh, I didn't realize Sheets was a
Sheets.
Pennsylvania.
Sheets, yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. There's the Sheets Wawa Wars. It's serious, you know. You're either a
Sheets.
Sheets person or a Wawa person, and
We don't have them in Jersey. You're
Wawa
while
or
there,
Quick Check.
there used to never be a battle between Wawa and Quick Check because
Because
there was
Wawa
a
was
dividing
south.
line. Yep.
Quick Check was north. Now they're everywhere.
Now they're bleeding into each other's
Mhm.
territory, and now it's the sandwich wars, the coffee wars.
And what's the other one down south that's creeping up north now too? It's oh crap,
is Royal Farms in Jersey yet?
Royal Farms.
Yeah.
Really,
Farms,
I've not
yeah.
seen that. Well, we used to have Cumberland Farms in.
We used to
They-
have Cumberland Farms.
Yeah, they
Cumberland
kind
Farms,
of retreated, but they are huge in Rhode Island.
Well, they're a Rhode Island company. Cumberland.
Yeah, they're a Rhode Island company, and Rhode Island just call it Cumbies.
Oh,
You don't say Cumberland Farms in Rhode Island. They'd be like,
Cumbies.
"What's wrong with you?"
yeah, we used to have those too around here, but
Cumbies
No,
or Cumberland Farms?
Cumberland we did the full title. But yeah, we did a Sheets beer last year. They started it started out with they were doing collabs with Pennsylvania breweries. It's expanded now because I think they did a Goose Island one, if I'm not mistaken. But
No, they were in Pennsylvania for a bit.
yeah,
Ish.
That's completely done now, right? That Goose Island location.
yeah, they closed
They
pretty.
pulled they pulled out last.
I would not be surprised.
October, I think it was. They pulled.
I
out.
would not be surprised if that's where Source went into.
Yeah, that would make
You
sense.
know what? I'll reach out to Greg a little later and
Yeah.
maybe we could follow up. But so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
The how speaking of wrap it up, you're talking about the last year and everything else. How did you guys how'd everything pan out for you? I should say for the pandemic and everything else.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. I think everyone at whatever part, level you are in the company, whatever department you're in, it was an interesting year for sure. Overall, I'm really proud of the way the brewery kind of handled it and was able to be flexible and pivot and be quick on our feet to not die off, because it was pretty scary there for a little while when no one really knew what the hell was going on. And I was like, I don't know how any of these bars are going to open back up at the end of this, because it just never seemed like things were going to end. And, but the brewery itself, I mean, we're small enough where we were able to quickly kind of, say, okay, bars are shut down. We got to move everything into cans. We got to focus our energy there. We got to make sure everything's registered for grocery chains, because we knew that was where most people were the easiest way. We weren't going into liquor stores and browsing, so we needed to be where people could just get it quickly and easily. We cut a couple beers off our schedule because it was just, we didn't want to overload the market, but but the tap room itself, we're able to sell beer out of the brewery, that really started to take off. Like a lot of local breweries, the local community kind of finds what's open, and they found us, and we saw some great growth at the brewery itself. We started doing some local delivery, which was super helpful at the time. And now we've got the whole outdoor beer garden. We were able to get our parking lot license to be able to sell, serve beer outside. So we've got a really nice beer garden out front, which has been great. So all of that has been awesome at the brewery. And then, the distribution side has been more difficult, obviously, because, bars being shut down essentially was really tough. We had a huge on-premise footprint with our seasonals and stuff. You could go to a ton of the great spots in Jersey, and they'd have our latest seasonal on tap or whatever. That's where, a lot of Joe's work was, that was his bread and butter. So when that all got shut down, it's a tough adjustment. And now that things are sort of stabilizing, I think we're all pretty excited to start getting back at it,
Oh yeah, definitely. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Joe, you were the corporate stooge, right?
Yes.
But Kyle now has thrown out 3 corporate terms
Oh,
on the podcast. He's thrown back, circle back.
Right.
That's a big one.
Pivot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. And super helpful.
So you have to
These are things I
understand-
hear on a daily basis that make me cringe.
Every now
And
and
Joe's
then,
a corporate guy.
Yeah.
And Kyle's putting him out there.
Kyle's he's a manager now. So
He's gotta be
he's
He needs the lingo.
the edges have been worn off.
He's taking the classes, and he's implementing the nomenclature.
he's not a sales guy, I mean.
Well, you'll have to do a hard lean in on that.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. See, my vision.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was a good pickup, Dave. That was really good.
That's crap he hears every day. So
Yes.
I hear it every day, and it's changed from my old.
not that what you
position
said,
to
Kyle,
the
was
position.
crap. Just what I mean.
Oh no. Sometimes with my job, I have a certain persona that I have to maintain, and sometimes those damn corporate
Those hot words.
yeah.
I hear them all the time because of my wife working from home. So Yep.
And I think some of it still is from when I worked on the wholesaler side. Wrigley was a huge wholesaler that has, they're the ones that carry Russian River. So they carry the smallest, Philly brands, but they also carry Coors Light and Heineken. So I would sit in on all those damn meetings and have to hear their annual business plans. And they don't even say anything except for those corporate words.
So the same distributor that carries Coors Light and Heineken carries Russian River.
Yes.
Wow.
They are so large that they carry the entire kind of spectrum of beer for Philly. They've got the whole gamut.
There you
But
go.
one thing I've been trying to figure out, I need to ask this of the person in the office who uses it a lot, but maybe you could explain. Where is the line where it's between helpful and super helpful?
Oh.
Yes, I don't know when to use which term.
Nothing the Shamany Creek does is helpful or super helpful. So I can't help you there.
That was not helpful.
No. But I will research it and circle back to you on that.
There you go.
Circle back.
Research and circle back.
Yep, circle back, and I'll send you an email reminder, and if you can, please revert.
Yeah, and then we'll connect and figure it all out.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Well, it's good that everything panned out, and obviously at this point, with things opening back up and pretty much leveling out, knock on wood, everything stays.
No, everything's back in alignment.
I'm sorry, everything's back in alignment. I see. I missed that class.
We'll teach.
I will say, because
school me.
This is a public platform. Our current struggle is the can shortage, which I don't know if you guys have discussed.
We have discussed it a few times. Yes.
Yeah.
So, we know who the culprit is.
If anyone is listening and you know of any cans that are hanging out in a warehouse, just send us a little message here. That'd be super helpful.
Gotcha.
There's the line. That's super helpful.
There you go. Drop a line. You can drop a line to Neshaminy Creek. You can drop a line to the Log Room guys, and we will get it to Neshaminy Creek, or anybody else for that matter. And if you know any extra aluminum hanging around, looking for a home, you can email us. We'll loop Kyle in. There you go.
We
will forward it directly.
Love it.
There you go. So, I'm ready to open my second beer.
I'm halfway through my second beer,
I
John.
was gonna say, well, I was drinking a 19.2 ounce can.
This is true.
I poured twice. So
I didn't prepare. I got to run over to the fridge real quick.
I'll run over to the fridge. Go ahead. I'll just jump in really quick. We're talking about coconut before. I'll wait till Kyle gets back.
You want me to introduce my beer, or also wait for Kyle to come back?
Well, I'm just Ram. There, he's back. Here you go. My right now I'm gonna drink. We're talking about coconut before. That's why I asked about stout or anything. Dave, what's my favorite?
Maple.
What's my favorite hop at the moment?
I can't remember the name of it. It's something like Sago or something like that.
Sabro.
It's the one Sabro. It's the one that's
Rose coconut. There you go.
There
you go. Right there. Wow. Sob story, bro.
Isn't that a hummus?
It's from
Sabra.
Yeah. That's Sabra.
Sabra. Yeah.
Sabra.
That's
right
not
there.
a bad hummus.
It's from Cypress Brewing. I thank Matt for this one of our producers. He just actually messaged in too, just now. He said,
just now.
He said, "I will try to get exposure with the Homeless Aluminum Initiative."
Also known as HI.
HI, HAI, Homeless Aluminum Initiative. So kudos to this gentleman right here, Matt, for this beer. He brought it up the other day.
It's funny because you brought up JJ Biddings earlier.
I was going to go there. I was going to say it. I know exactly what you're going to say. You can continue.
No, you continue it. This was your experience.
I believe so. I don't know those guys personally. I've only met them at Beer Fest. But I believe the two owners of Cypress, they all came from JJ Biddings. Is that correct?
At least Charlie and Jay did.
Yes, the tall guy, blonde hair.
That's Jay.
Yep. He threw my friend out one time. It was pretty funny, actually. My friend was fairly drunk and doing things he shouldn't be doing, and he got tossed. And
I would love to see.
That's two of the three.
I would love to see Jay mad. I don't think I've ever seen Jay mad.
I don't know if he was mad, but he was just like, "It's time. It's time for you to go. It's time."
Said Charlie was the GM, and Jay still bartends there. There you go.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yep.
But that's funny.
Yeah, those guys. I knew them because I hung out there all the time. Only knew them as a customer there, and then obviously when they opened up Cypress, I saw them at Beer Fest and kind of chatted with them a little bit, but don't definitely know them personally. So
gotcha.
No, we did. And John did not pick his beer knowing the tie-in.
I did not. See that? See how things work out?
Look at that.
Together.
Look at that.
And this is delicious, by the way. This is very tasty. Thanks, Matt. This is really good. Sob story, bro. Sabro is one of my favorite hops right now. So anyway.
So what'd you come back with, Kyle?
I felt inclined to grab John.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Juicy O with nuggets.
Yeah. So, I was inspired. But
so I decided to go hoppy.
hoppier
than I was. Fat Orange Cat's in New Jersey now.
Fat Orange Cat is in New Jersey right now.
They're out of Connecticut, and I've got a beer, and I think they are going for the longest beer name ever.
No, I'm sorry. Evil Twin still probably has that. But.
Probably still, but this one's pretty damn long. She drives a second-generation 4-door Plymouth Satellite.
There you go.
That's a long.
She drives a second-generation 4-door Plymouth Satellite. There you go.
It tells you everything you need to know.
You knew absolutely
About the beer.
Dave texted me before. He says I picked up a Fat Orange Cat. I was like, Garfield or the brewery from Connecticut.
And I said to him, like, well, I didn't have enough lasagna to get
enough
Garfield
lasagna
out of the sun off the shelf.
So, by the way, Joe, Gene said the beard is looking strong and legit. He said.
Nice.
So, there you go.
Oh, great. Just what he needs to hear.
Just what Joe needs to hear.
So
Now he's never going to shave it.
Some fantastic vindication from Mr. Gene Lynch.
I actually, I was on a run about a week ago, and a guy on the trail coming the opposite way, we crossed paths, and he actually complimented, and he said, "Dude, your beard is awesome."
This is what Joe's been going for.
That was enough justification for me.
Random runner in the woods.
There you go.
Giving him
Random runner in the woods.
In the woods.
yeah.
It's coming off. It's coming off in June. I think it's time. It's too hot outside.
How long have you been? What's that been? How long has that been?
March of 2020. I have not.
That's a pandemic
year.
beer technically.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
There you go.
So
the gentleman Radio Pete on the sports podcast with me. He had a haircut in February before the pandemic started, and he hadn't gotten a haircut since. Just a week and a half ago, he finally got a haircut. His hair was insanely long, which is why I always wear caps on the podcast. But yeah, he just got a haircut for the first time in almost a year and a half. So that was pretty.
I haven't gone to get a haircut. I bought clippers early in the pandemic.
There you go.
Cutting my own hair.
I do that as well.
I've been doing my own, and one time it was I got a little too much of an angle and took a nice chunk.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a journey.
That's what they make. That's what they make caps for.
Because of meetings, no. Because of meetings, no one ever saw it.
Well, that's true.
Because I don't think I was in the office at the time.
There you go. So,
No.
awesome. Yeah. So, what was your second beer?
Mine?
Yep.
My second beer
is
one of my favorite beers we've come out with actually this year. It's called Want You Bad. It was a chocolate cherry stout we did, which I still have a few cans left over because I bought about a whole case.
I've been meaning to act. Is this an Offspring reference?
Yeah, and I found that out.
Is.
I would say, right, Kyle, or is it not?
I think it was an unintentional Offspring reference.
Okay.
I don't think the person that actually threw that name out realized it, but other people at the brewery definitely did, and just were like, "Okay, we'll go with that."
You could have put the word "so" in there and made it a completely different reference too.
Yes, it would. I want you bad. So.
What I meant.
Is that where you're going?
I actually, I was
so
doing
bad.
something.
It's driving
I was doing
me
something in
mad.
my house. Well, that's a different reference.
That's what I said. It's a different reference.
Yes.
So, cool. Well, if you do have a couple of cans of that left, that's interesting. So, what are you drinking there, Samurai?
We went through this. The long ass name.
The long ass, right? Yeah, that's right. The Fat Orange Cat. Oh, that's your third beer. That's right.
No, that's my second beer.
Second beer. I'm sorry.
I thought we weren't doing math on this.
Hold on, I gotta.
No, we're not. That's the thing. John's not doing math.
I'm not doing math. I'm avoiding it. I'm avoiding it.
Apparently, Sabro hops is one of the few things in beer that actually helps aluminum absorb into the brain and gives you Alzheimer's.
Apparently so. So, anywho, on that note, let's dive into our top threes. What do you think?
We can do that.
We got four of us,
we don't even need a reason.
We don't even need a reason. We can do that. We don't even need a reason. This is absolutely true. So, what do you guys think? You guys ready for the top three list?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't cut my own lawn. So no, I'm kidding.
Right.
I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, yeah, you do. We've seen you cut your own lawn.
My neighbors don't.
I didn't know if you stopped cutting your own grass when you stopped cutting the hair on your face.
Right,
We
exactly.
have seen pictures of your lawnmower.
We have seen pictures of one. So in any event, all right. So
We're going to let Joe go first.
We're going to let Joe go first with this. Tonight's top 3 list is top 3. Hold on.
Because
Top 3.
Joe might be the only one of us that actually owns a lawnmower at this point.
At this point, yeah, probably.
Yeah, Kyle, do you own a lawnmower?
I do.
Yeah,
So these guys, see,
These guys.
you and I don't.
I know.
I used to.
Right, exactly. So here we go. Tonight's top 3 list is favorite lawnmower beers. Favorite lawnmower beers. No math. Hold on. Gene just said math is hard.
Math is hard.
Gene is correct.
Gene would be correct. Top 3 favorite lawnmower beers. Why do we do top 3s and not top 10s?
Because it would take far too friggin'
long to get through them. So anyway, top 3.
But the 3s are also an homage to 1933, the year Prohibition was repealed.
Yep.
And the mystery number, and no one ever figured this out, on the side of Rolling Rock bottles.
This is true. 33. There you go.
Like you're fooling anybody.
Tonight's top 3 list: top 3 favorite lawnmower beers. Joe, why don't you?
Well, the definition of a lawnmower beer for anybody. I mean, has anybody listened doesn't know what a lawnmower beer is?
Everybody listening knows what a lawnmower beer is.
Okay,
it's a beer that you drink while you're mowing the lawn. So clearly you're not.
Well, yeah. Well, if you got a ride on during,
during the process of mowing the lawn.
Joe, you've got to push, so you need to get a can holder on that push mower.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
So just as
to push that thing,
you kind of want to avoid the bourbon barrel aged stouts.
He'll have a nice Yeti can holder on there. Joe is constantly trying to get hired by Yeti, so he'll use this up.
I've been trying for like 3 years.
Worst case scenario, and the Shamanity winds up with some Yeti sponsored.
That might be what I'm looking for. I don't know.
You can't tie Yeti into a beer because that's Great Divide has that already.
Well, no, I meant swag, Yeti sponsored swag.
Yes.
We give Yeti Joe, and they give us some new merch.
And
a player to be named later.
You got it all down. There you go. It's perfect. That's perfect.
You think you really think you're going to get that much for Joe?
They are expensive.
Depends on exactly what they're going to give you.
You might get a keychain or two.
Yeah.
a couple Ramblers, a couple Rambler koozies.
All right. So what are your top 3 favorite lawnmower beers there, Joe?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Jesus, can I pass? Can you come back?
Oh my God.
The man who mows his lawn 3 times a week.
Yeah,
has to pass and come back.
When you're done mowing?
What do you drink?
We have seen you finish your lawn and post up the beer you're drinking.
Yeah,
and you can't.
So, all right.
Hey Brian, can you go through
spot?
Can you go through the Dippa gang and just go through, look for when Joe's mowed his lawn and answer for him?
Find a picture. I have to go with Yingling because that is still one of my favorites. Okay. It's still a go-to for me, so it's still light enough to where I can drink that outside all the time. It's a good barbecue beer. It's a good lawnmower beer. And then I would probably go. See, I feel like I have to. I feel like I need to go or somehow bring up Croydon Cream Ale because
I was gonna do that.
All right,
you can still do that.
You can still do that.
All right,
we've had crossovers. It's fine.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I will go with Croydon Cream Ale. RIP for Croydon Cream Ale.
Kyle, so you know that one top 3, John and I said, screw it. It was our top 3s.
We had the same.
They were in alignment.
All right, that works.
Let's see, and then a third.
Uno mas.
I don't know.
Yingling, Croydon
Cream Ale. And
I remember one time you were done mowing your lawn, and you actually did drink Shape.
Yeah. That was recently. Mm-hmm. That was actually like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was very recent.
Not technically what most people refer to as a lawnmower beer.
No, I got really drunk that night too. Actually,
because you mowed your lawn and started with Shape. That's right.
With Shape, I think you drank like 3 Shapes, and at one point you turned to barley wine.
No, it was a shot. I went to a shot.
Oh, that's right.
Right to that. Yeah,
right, that was that night.
And that's when his daughter broke his computer. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As the story goes,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
blame it on the girl that can't defend herself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
so John and I, we were not certain if Kyle knew that your computer had been broken. So we were not going to mention it because we didn't know if it was the Chamonix issued or not.
No.
No,
We're not.
thankfully it was not.
So John's like, yeah, don't bring it up on the show.
Yeah, just in case. Just in
No, we did not provide Joe with a Lex.
case.
You're smart people.
The
They
laughing.
wind up in the aquarium.
Well, he also tells me how many times he's broken his phone after some of those nights. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm not about to give him a company issue.
Good thing he has insurance.
Yeah.
Phone insurance.
No, I don't actually.
You
I just
You
put my
should.
finger
Went with
on the
it.
screen.
Should have just went with
You
it, John.
really should.
So this is where you just, oh, yeah, right. I have it all the time, yeah.
No, but I just saw I'm in like a breweries in PA Facebook group, which sometimes is regrettable, but like most
Like
people.
all
There's a lot of good breweries
Yeah.
in PA, other than the Shamany Creek. There's a lot of
Yeah,
other breweries.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
But someone just the other day actually posted a picture of them on their lawnmower with a shake can, and
Yeah,
it spawned quite a conversation.
Nice.
Apparently, some people just go out on their lawnmower and don't actually cut the grass. They're just trying to get out of the house.
They just sit on the lawnmower, leave
And
it
Yes,
running, and drink
those
beer.
happily married men.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
they're just drinking 8.5% IPAs just for some alone time. Just
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Us older guys use the bathroom for that.
Right. So what's your three there, Kyle?
So I will do the repeat. I'll say Croydon Cream Ale, which is now a retired beer for us, but it used to say right there on the label it was an American lawnmower ale.
Yeah.
Super light, easy drinking, low alcohol, perfect for that. The other one I will say is I'll go with Firestone Pivo Pills.
Mm-hmm.
A classic in my opinion. If I had like a go-to Pilsner, that would probably be it.
Fair
I
enough.
used that to get one of my friends into craft beer.
There you
He thought he was hot shit because he was drinking Sapporo,
Oh,
and we were at what's the I can't remember the name. Houston's, the rib joint, and I ordered him a Pivo Pills, and
Mhm.
he's like, well, "What are you drinking there?" I handed it to him. He's like,
it's a perfect beer.
well, "What's this?" And so we wound up at Cloverleaf for the first time. The first time I ever went to Cloverleaf was that night.
go. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how long ago it was. Anyway,
Crazy.
so
Anyway.
and so your third, Kyle?
The third one, I was gonna say something snooty. I was gonna say,
No.
say
Go snooty.
Be snooty.
Well,
be snooty.
no,
Yeah.
this would be snooty because it's not actually true. I've never drank this beer while mowing my grass or afterwards. But like Saison DuPont, it seems like something I would want to drink afterwards because
Okay.
there are bullshit grassy notes and whatnot. But
Sure.
after our prior conversation about Jaws, I'm gonna say Narragansett Lager.
There you go.
That's
A
just an old school, perfect kind of beer for any occasion.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Nasty Gansett. Yeah,
There you
would
go.
work well as long as it's nice and cold.
Yes. Yeah. I've been a fan of theirs for a while. I feel like they're always solid, even though I know they're not. They're not what the hype boys want to talk
And
about.
This is
they're
true.
actually supposed to start brewing in Rhode Island again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're opening a brew pub in Providence, down by the river, not in a van,
Down, not in a van down by the river. Yeah.
but down by the river.
Now, weren't they supposed to? I mean, I remember being in Pawtucket, and there was a space that they were in, or were going in, or something was happening with that. This is a while ago. It's like maybe 4 years ago.
No, they used to brew in Pawtucket.
Okay.
They used to brew in Pawtucket. I forget where they moved to. They moved out of state, even though they're still considered a Rhode Island beer.
Okay.
And of course, everything they make goes into Rhode Island.
Sure.
But they were supposed to be opening a space down near the park that's right down on the river in the van. I mean, but yeah, they're supposed to be down there. They've been I think I remember the tanks going in.
Oh wow.
So, but I think COVID kind of put a
They're in
a delay
Providence, down by the Riverwalk.
No. You got to remember, there's like 3 rivers that go through Providence.
Well, this is true.
So no, they're not by and Riverwalk's in Newport, by the way, or Cliff Walk's in Newport.
No, not the Cliff Walk.
You're talking about the Riverwalk. Riverwalk's up more by where a Firewater's held. I mean, Waterfire. It's called
Waterfire, yeah. Up by where Union Beer is.
Yeah, Union Station.
Yeah, Union Station.
Yeah.
So anyway.
All right, your 3?
I was going to go you first.
I can go first.
I was nodding to you. We always go to me. Let's go to you.
So, as talking about ice cold, because your classic lawnmower beer is usually something that you wouldn't be able to drink warmed up too well, because it would taste like ass. And one of my favorite really ice cold beers, I use it for barbecuing as well. When I'm smoking, it's my timing mechanism. Most people, 1 can of it, they put the next piece of wood on. I've got to go 2 cans because I drink a lot faster than most people. But PBR.
Sure.
You put that in the back of the fridge. Come in, getting grass all over the damn house, and just reach back there, pull it out, crack it open, toss a couple of those back immediately. But like you said, Kyle, with Saison DuPont, the grassy notes that are in Saison DuPont, another one I like because it's got those grassy notes because it's got Saz hop in it. Pilsner Urquell. That was another one of my favorites. And that one you don't have to put as far back in the fridge. Because it's got some nice flavor to it. And the other one I had, I couldn't figure out which one I want to go with, but any goddamn Kolsch as long as it's good.
There you go.
Right? It's just nice, clean,
not just any Kolsch, any goddamn Kolsch.
Any goddamn Kolsch that you've got. I'm going to toss back. Goffel's a good one.
So if goddamn's a Kolsch, you'll drink it.
I will drink the damn thing.
There you go.
Is there a goddamn brewery out there that makes a Kolsch?
There you go.
We got to figure that out.
That'd be a great brewery name. Now that I think they could just name everything "Goddamn IPA,"
goddamn stout. I think Rice Door's probably my favorite Kolsch, though. That one's. I'll toss that one back.
Rice, there you go. Matt just jumped right in there. Reisdorf.
Yep, there we go.
Yep, there you go.
He's absolutely right. That's the
king of Kolsch's. Yeah,
any Kolsch must be judged against Reisdorf.
Absolutely. And he also did right before that say, there once was a beer from Nantucket.
Whose hops are so never.
Well, no, leave it alone.
We're going to stop.
Leave it alone. All right. I'll start in the same kind of order you did. I'll throw it out there. Jenny Cream.
None of us had any order.
Jenny Cream. Well, I mean, in how you went or whatever. Jenny Cream.
Sure.
I will. And I'm going back years. I probably haven't had a Jenny Cream mowing the lawn in I don't know how many years.
Now,
but
this is the
ago,
one
that was, I'm talking like 80s into 90s. That was the lawnmower beer. That was I had it, to drink here and there, and absolutely specifically to mow the lawn.
It's the one beer that keeps the tanks closed during the gas off period to make sure it tastes like cream corn.
Right. Exactly. So you gotta love it. But anyway, Jenny Cream. Number 2 is a beer that I actually got into drinking. Loved the flavor of it, and actually used it as a lawnmower beer while it was still in production. And they retired it. It's no longer in production. Otter Creek Fresh Slice.
That's
IPA.
a great beer.
Yeah, loved drinking that after mowing the lawn.
Otter Creek was one of the more underrated breweries out there.
Yeah,
I agree.
They were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And they had an organic line as well.
The Shed.
No, not the Shed. No, the Shed was awful. The organic line was
Peak.
It'll come to me. Nope.
No, it's not.
No. Well, I mean,
No.
Otter Creek. Well, Long Trail now owns Otter Creek and The Shed. And that's why a lot of these beers got. I mean, Otter Creek right now is making like 6 or 7 beers a year. That's it, and that includes flagships and seasonals.
Do they still do couch?
I don't believe so.
Oh, that beer was so good.
Fresh Dose and stuff like that. There's a raspberry beer, but it's few and far between. There's not as anywhere near as big a profile as they used to, a portfolio I should say, as they used to have. But yeah, Fresh Slice was an amazing beer. It was delicious.
Very good.
Was it? And my number 1, and it's made by Harpoon, but they split the companies. UFO White.
Okay.
UFO White. That's my.
Come on, Matt. Okay, you're giving us some great information here, but we need to know the organic branch of Otter Creek.
What's the organic branch of Otter Creek, Matt?
What's it
He
called?
He said someone has a home brewery on Untapped named That Goddamn Brewery.
I just registered it. That was me.
That was good. And Stovepipe Porter.
That was my favorite Otter Creek beer right
it
there.
was. That was a great Otter Creek beer. Otter Creek, yeah. Very underrated brewery, Joe. You're absolutely right. Very, very underrated brewery. But yeah, I'd like to see them resurrect a little bit more. Longshore resurrect a little bit more.
I've got it. You're fired, Matt. Wallivers.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I got way too excited about that. Sorry.
He's right with you.
No.
He said it right
there
there.
we go.
Wallivers.
Okay, you can keep your job.
Yeah.
There you go. But
they had that, like,
Long Trails.
Their most famous one was like the Wallivers pumpkin beer.
Wallivers pumpkin, yeah.
Yeah.
Wallivers pumpkin, yeah.
And I don't like pumpkin, but I did like a lot of the other Wallivers stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my top three. That's
Speaking of three, I poured my third.
What is it? What is it, man?
Ooh.
Look at that. Little grim key lime pie.
Pop.
Talk about dessert.
You might, I don't know how many people listen to this or watch this, so maybe it's not that big of a deal if I'm saying something, but you might see a key lime pie from the Shamany Creek next year, maybe.
There's a few.
All right. Well, whoever's listening, just don't talk about it, but you might see a key lime pie.
Speak
Keep
it
it
up
to
a little.
yourself and just go buy it when it comes out. Is it going to be released or is it going to be a brewery only thing?
No, this would be
If it happens.
If this happens,
Hypothetically speaking, if it were to happen,
it would be a full-blown release, and it might be associated with a brand that you already know that maybe we talked about before.
There might be a collab going.
Like a variant of a known brand of ours.
A variant of a known brand.
Maybe.
Gotcha.
Maybe. So this
hypothetical beer.
This thing that you're releasing in Philly parlance, might have a key lime variant.
This John that you're releasing.
See, I'm not trying to avoid using the word.
No, but
no.
Oh, it's not a John.
It's not a John.
It's not a John.
A different kind of.
By the way, this doesn't suck.
So, what kind of beer is it, though?
Well, it's a pop style sour ale with key lime juice, vanilla, and milk sugar.
Gotcha.
And it's a beautifully restrained lactose. We've said it a few times on the show. Lactose in beers like salt.
Yes.
To food. It's great to enhance some of the flavors. Too much, it takes everything over.
That's actually a really good analogy there. I like that. That's definitely.
It is true because if you over lactose a beer, it's gritty, grimy. It's,
when you're exactly right. When lactose changes the mouthfeel, you've used too much.
Yeah. So, Matt, just to throw this out there, Matt said the Alta Gracia coffee porter from Wallivers was pretty good. Yeah, it was. The coffee porter was pretty good from Wallivers.
I don't think I had that one.
And key lime hef, is that what you're asking? That this could be a key lime hef?
No, I wasn't.
But that's not a bad idea, though.
Well, we've got two ants, so we need a.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's not a John. It's not a hef.
Yeah.
It might be something else.
Be something.
It's a key lime coconut stout.
It wouldn't be.
That was a joke.
Gritty may not be involved in that, is it?
I don't even know who Gritty is anymore at this point.
I
don't associate myself with that character at all.
It's the Eric Lindros key lime.
The best thing, it would be awesome right now if like Gritty just entered Kyle's frame and just like.
That'd be fun.
John, how come you like coconut from Neshaminy Creek so much? Can we talk about that?
Why don't we talk about that a little
Let's talk
bit?
about this.
Why don't we discuss this just a little bit? See, I was going to bring this up before, but I thought it would be good to save
My
it
name
to
is
now.
John, and I like coconut from the Shamany Creek.
Okay, so here's what. All right, let's talk about the labels a little bit.
Yes.
Give us you went through a change in labels a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago.
Just about.
Depends on which change you're talking about.
The global change where a lot of the artwork became what it is now. From what
the Shamany Creek got framed into it a little bit. Yeah.
And one of the things that I love to see is the coconuts.
Don't we all?
Right. because of what they're actually doing on the label.
Uh-oh.
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 Uh-oh. Oh, look at that.
There he is.
Sorry, anybody listening to the audio
beauty.
podcast, we cannot comment on what's going on. You just got to
No.
watch.
But I do need to ask: is that the Betsy Ross Bridge?
No, that was the Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin. Yeah, definitely Ben
okay.
Franklin. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely Ben Franklin.
Okay.
But you know,
you just got to watch the go to Facebook or YouTube and watch this replay of this show and
get a
you'll
screen
see
grab and put it on a T-shirt if you want.
and leave it at that.
Oh, yeah, that'd
because
be a
that's
beautiful-
this is the closest you're gonna get.
That'd be a beautiful thing.
Anyway, sorry, I interrupted.
No worries, no worries.
Coconuts.
So yeah, no, I like the coconuts on the new labels, and Joe knows why I like the coconuts on the new labels, right, Joe?
I do. I think
Yeah.
similar
John
to
going to tell
the,
us, or are you going to tell us?
the blueberries as well. I think we had
Blueberries
a
as well.
conversation
Blueberries
about the
as well.
blueberries.
Absolutely.
Do you want me to tell them, or do you
Go
want
for it.
do you
Yeah,
want-
no, go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
So the coconuts and I believe the blueberries are they're throwing up on each other.
Yeah, we've had a lot of vomit or sweat.
There's a lot of vomit on the Shamany Creek label.
And that's before the beers get cracked open.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've.
I don't know. Coconut vomit is probably tasty.
It probably is.
I would
really.
say that is probably.
I would think so.
We've moved a little away from all the vomit and the drool.
The blueberries was drool, right? The blueberries was
Sure.
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
A little of both.
I'm thinking even on County Line are one of our flagship beers. I think we've got some oranges on there that might be drooling, could be vomit. I
Right.
can neither
I got you.
confirm or deny.
Right.
I'm
But
sure
the-
it's come up on other things.
But the
Churchville.
first Churchville.
we had a bird vomiting on a mud bank label. At
I
one
remember the bird vomiting. Yes,
Yep.
that was it. It was it.
Yep.
It was great. See now I got the coconuts, I got the blueberries, I got the oranges, the bird.
Yeah. What's
We let our artists have free reign.
your artist likes vomit?
It's we've reined it in a little bit, and we've changed some things up.
So here's what I took out of it, right? Like the bird and the coconuts and the blueberries and everything loved the beer so much that they just imbibed way too much, and this is what happened.
Yes,
So that's-
and we are not condoning that.
Well, we're gonna call it drool.
Yeah,
I'm cold
Yeah.
drool.
You see, it's not focusing too well.
yeah. See,
Go
I,
back a little bit.
I think for County Line, it's just so
There it is.
bitter. It was triggering his drool gland.
Oh, he was salivating over the.
He's salivating
Absolutely.
over a pine tree.
Sure, absolutely. But no,
It looks like it should be a snowball fight, but it's a hop fight, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and one guy is completely out of it because that's the baby, and as Joe knows full well, that's what babies do.
Sure.
They drool. There's always some sort of fluid coming out of it.
And as
somewhere.
Joe's daughter knows very well, that's what daddies do.
Yes, there's always some fluid coming out of Joe at some point.
The great circle of life.
Exactly. It's like a circle.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta love it. No,
Oh,
but
man.
that's the first time I saw the coconuts, I loved it. I loved it. I said to Joe, this is great.
So
I think I brought that to 381.
You did.
I
You
did.
did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah,
That
so
was awesome.
you've got to create a label that does not have some sort of sputum in it.
we've managed to do that more recently. Yeah, we've the more recent labels. I don't think you'll find much vomit on, which
This conversation has to go down in the annals of
The what
podcast
now?
history. The annals. I didn't say
Okay, thank
anals.
you.
I said annals.
Just making sure there's two N's in there.
But-
N-N-A-L-S. Right.
So for whoever liked coconut last year of Neshaminy Creek, our 2020 schedule must have been your favorite because I think we killed the coconut adjunct last year. We did, I don't know how many, but we did. If I can try to figure it out now, we did a collab with Ship Bottom, which was a coconut mango IPA.
Okay.
We did coconut mud bank. We did this year's been
Oh,
coconut.
that must have been really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So good.
We did tropical shape of haze, which is coconut and passion fruit.
Mhm.
and I feel like maybe I'm missing one because it seemed like overkill last year. But
So yeah, in 2020, I was exiled to Rhode Island and did not have any even the Neshaminy Creek at my disposal.
no.
Though I did vomit once.
Oh yeah.
You'll remember vomiting once.
if that matters.
Yeah. Maybe we could squeeze that on a label. I don't know.
Well, he's got a picture of it, so we can send it along and we can figure out what we can do with it.
No, I don't
A little
think
caricature. We can make it a cartoon. You know, there's those cartoon filters now. You can just put it on there and boom, slap it on a label. Good to go. You good?
a vomiting samurai.
Exactly. Put the sword next to him. Gene said that's awesome. I'm trying to figure out exactly what we've said in the last 5 minutes that he meant that towards. So,
I'm sure it was everything.
probably everything.
It's probably vomit. Gene is a vomit fan. Well, he's got a dog that just snores, farts. Hey, Mason, if you're watching.
If you're watching, yes. Gene, do you have Mason watching with you?
But I don't know that Mason's known for vomiting.
I don't believe so.
No.
I don't believe, not that I've heard. I wouldn't
Snoring
know.
and farting for sure.
If Gene doesn't share, then we wouldn't know.
And Mason has his own Facebook page.
Mason does. Oh. Is it Mason? Or well, the cat does too, right?
Yeah, Oreo has his own too.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
That's where all of his check-ins come from. Oreo's
room.
Oreo's room. Yeah, Oreo's room. The cat's room.
Speaking of cats and vomit, that goes.
Cats and vomit. There you go. Gene said he's not specifying what that was for. There you go. In any event, did Kyle go grab another beer? Or did we lose him? To
I hope he went to get another beer. Hopefully,
that would be great.
Did we lose him to the? Is he on the floor? Can we see down?
I get a personal day tomorrow.
No, he
I get a day off tomorrow.
Well, that has happened on many a Wednesday due to this show.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, but so that's my take on the coconut vomit. But I thought the labels were great. That was great. That was awesome. That's funny. There was no hop vomit, right? There was no hops vomiting, was there? I believe so.
There's.
Well, no, we just showed hop drooling.
No, there was hop drool, but was there hop actual?
There's a peach wearing a thong on Beach Fuzz.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
There's definitely. Let's see.
Beach Fuzz has a peach wearing a thong, and that that translates, right? I mean, what's the emoji for
There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's slather some
thong and a sombrero. It's clearly a male peach, right?
Yes.
Right. Because there's no top.
So Kyle came back with a third beer.
I did.
Or the peach is laying on a specific beach, one or the other. Right?
And Kyle's going to can chug that on the show.
Oh, I missed that part. No, I was going to talk about the.
We voted while you were away. So.
Yeah. Sorry,
you've got a can shotgun that thing now.
Well, let me get this out first. Then the Beach Fuzz label there, the peach with the thong. We had it. So we have a relatively new website. And
I was going to say we've got a relative that was the model for it.
Well, I didn't say we didn't.
Okay.
But so our web designer actually animated the peach butt cheeks to kind of
nice.
And that was a big point.
Of peach cheeks, wouldn't they?
That was a big point of contention among some of the staff whether or not we should have it. So if you go to the website, it's not currently animated, but it was at one point.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's another story that may be better for off air.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Yeah, we like our beach right there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
no, I love the beach too. That's why I live 4 blocks from it. But that's Joe knows.
I do know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in a tough spot now. We've got 2 perfect beach summer beers for our seasonals with Beach Fuzz and Summer Dollars. So we're gonna inch them forward in the calendar so they can both be out for summer. But
nice. Well, summer starts this Friday, right? I mean, that's the official unofficial kickoff to summer, right?
Are you bracing yourself for the bennies?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've already all the neighbors. We've already got we pulled the cones out of the back of everybody's garage, so we just put them out in the street and say no parking, emergency. Hopefully
You don't have your big
drive
Benny-
right by and
Your big Benny's go home sign.
no.
You know what the sad part is?
They're
I am-
part of the part of the
The
thriving
economy.
economy here at the beach.
So you guys know what a Benny is? So a Benny
Not.
is
I
Benny
gather
are,
context clues, but yeah, go ahead.
it is the people that come down to the Jersey Shore, and it originally stood for what? Bergen, Essex,
No,
Newark, and New York.
no. It was Bayonne, Elizabeth, Newark, and New York.
Oh.
And New York. And it's funny.
See.
Yeah, come on down. At one point, they tried
I
to
feel like
spin-
Bergen just fits right in there, though. Bergen County
Yeah,
just
it's-
throw them in there.
Yeah, I mean, it
And
works
an
however you
extra
want to look
beef.
at it.
it's kind of moved around a little bit. At one point, someone tried to water it down and make it positive and said, no, Benny stands for benefactor
Mhm.
because they benefit the area. And
Which
everyone
they do.
went, which they do, but
They do,
everybody
they do.
on the Jersey Shore went, no. As a matter of fact, the Driscoll Bridge is sometimes referred to as Benny Hill because it's this big loop to it. And if you grew up, and if you lived down, if you lived down there, you would always just not like it when they came down. And so you'd see a lot of signs that would say Benny's go home.
And what's really funny is Dave grew up a town away from where I live right now, and I grew up a town away from where Dave lives right now.
He grew up as a Benny. I was pretty much sure. Now I'm the Benny.
Right.
'Cause actually, I'm in Hudson County,
Yeah, sure.
which is not part of the acronym.
Well, no, that would be Benny. It's a silent H. It's a silent H.
Hudson
Silent.
County's not part of a lot of things. But,
It would be the Yiddish version, Benny.
Well, if you think about it, what it really stood for with the Bayonne, Elizabeth, Newark, New York. Bayonne is Hudson County. Elizabeth
Bayonne.
is Union County. Newark is Essex County, and New York.
Oh, in that case, it would have been a honey.
It would have been a honey, right? Honey. So there you go. So are you a honey now? Is that what you're saying?
Not even.
Not
close.
even close. Yeah. So what was the beer you grabbed?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's that third beer you grabbed that you're gonna shotgun for us?
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll be shotgunning a Schwartz beer. So I was just down.
Oh,
Weekend. I was at the Guinness Brewery down in Baltimore, so I
Okay.
grabbed their Doers and Dreamers Coffee Schwarzbier.
Oh, I need
now is
that.
it Dewar's and DEWARS? Is it a Scotch aged?
No,
That would be-
maybe they're planting the seeds for that for another release, but yeah, they had that in the takeout thing, which I don't know if anyone has been to that Guinness Brewery down there, but it is
Not yet, but
Need
it's
to
on the
go.
list. I need to get down.
Yeah, it is on the list.
huge. We didn't do a full tour or anything. We just kind of sat outside and went in for the gift shop and the bathrooms, but a massive spot. And I love a good brewery tour. Like I'm still, even though I've worked in this damn
Oh,
industry
sure.
for,
Oh, I'll take them all the time.
Same.
Absolutely.
yeah, like I'll go look at stainless steel wherever, you want to let me go. And once they're back up and running full steam, I really want to get back there because that place, I didn't realize how big it was. And they do this whole kind of series of one-offs for just that location. So
That's cool.
get some really good beers down there. But
How many
Yeah.
more? How many more of you have left?
there's two left in the fridge.
And what are you doing tomorrow?
I might be meeting Joe, so maybe I could.
Actually,
Well, there you go.
There we go.
I
Yeah,
hear,
we
I hear
actually-
Joe's got
yeah.
a couple extra Neshaminy Creeks he can trade with you.
Yeah,
You may have a barreled souls or two still sitting around.
I
we
do.
dra-
I do.
You do? I thought we drank them.
No.
No. You got to remember, he had a bunch in a store before I restocked them.
He did.
Correct.
He did.
That is
I
true.
actually still have it's actually, geez, it's probably it's probably right around 4 years old. I got a bourbon barrel aged barley wine. It's like a 12 or 13% barley wine, bourbon barrel aged from Barreled Souls. I got downstairs. One of these days we'll pop it.
I think I've got one bottle left from. No, it was a Black Hole. I drank that. Never mind. I'm out of barreled souls.
Well, there you go. Well, somebody's going to have to get back up there.
Yeah, I need.
Someone's got to go.
Somebody's going to go.
I'm going. I just hopefully they're open when I blow through.
There you go. So, well, this has been great. Learned a ton about Neshaminy Creek. And
I did. I had one question about Neshaminy Creek.
Dave did have one question before we go.
There was one before we depart here and say our farewells. So, is it true that the water for the brewing is taken directly from the creek?
Yeah. So what we do is we have a whole part of our production staff that we just give them buckets and we sign them up, and they march down to the creek, and then they just kind of do like a whole brigade back to the creek.
You give them the stick across, and they've got to walk.
Now, is it true that that's for all the small batches, but the big batch beers that the water comes straight out of Delaware, right?
Well, I mean, that makes sense, right?
Exactly.
The creek feeds into the river. It's all we're trying to maintain that local.
Support the ecosystem.
Support the ecosystem. Absolutely, you gotta love it.
Yeah, I think Joe. I mean, do you get that question a lot when you're?
This is a true story, and it is hysterical. So I take my car to a shop down in where's that? It's above Cranford. There's a Subaru shop called I won't say their name, but anyway, Kenilworth. That's exactly where it is. So I take my car down there to get serviced fairly regularly, and there is a mechanic there who I walked in with my Neshaminy Creek sweatshirt on one day, and he was like, "Dude, I grew up in that area." He was like, "Are you from that area?" He goes, "I grew up there." And I was like, no. I work for, I was like, there's a brewery down there, and I actually work for these guys. And he was like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "You guys make County Line." And I said, "Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, we do make County Line." And he asked me that question. He said, "Do you use the water from the creek?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, man." And this is a true story. He said, "Man, I grew up, I peed in that creek so much."
Well, we know this, and that's what gives County Line its distinct flavor.
Exactly, which is why you chose that creek to make County Line, because of his essence.
And John, you know the reference. There's a little wang in it.
Little wang in it.
Oh, I know that.
It's got a little wang to it.
You know the
That is a true story.
Not the using the water.
Correct. Not
the mechanic saying that to Joe. Let's be
hilarious.
specific.
I still go to that place, and I still give that mechanic a 6-pack of County Line when I go down there, because
That just said county urine.
Oh, can you imagine the label?
So you just cross out the U and the R and write an L.
You got hop pissing all over the place.
throwing up.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't think we've ever had. I'm trying to think. I don't want to. There's a distinct possibility that we have had urine on the label, but I can't think.
You know, I mean, I didn't examine every single label that Joe had showed me ever.
But it's
that closely, but it's very possible.
With your artist penchant for
for
stuff
drool
coming into the human body.
Yeah, for bodily fluids.
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go, bodily
Like
fluids.
that county urine.
I'll let you know if anything comes up. But no, yeah. But if you live anywhere near Neshaminy Creek, that's like the first thing you always ask is if we actually use the creek water. And I mean, everyone around here is drinking that creek water, if we're being honest. So they can all get off their high horse and deal with it. That's my response. But
well, if you look at it this way, I mean, if that gentleman, did do what he did in that creek, about 5 minutes later, it was downstream.
Gone. Yeah.
So
we use filters. It's boiled.
It's filtered.
Fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about
Absolutely. Right. Exactly.
We treat it with lime.
Exactly.
it.
And coconut.
And
Puking coconuts.
Right. Gotta love it.
yeah, everyone's so uppity these days with their urine and their water. Like, come on.
Come on.
Get over yourself.
I grew up on it years ago. You remember what a glass of water looked like in the 1800s? I mean, come on.
It was brown.
My grandfather used to have to walk up.
There it is.
There you go.
to get his urine
Joe's drinking a
water.
glass of water from the 1800s.
Up hills both ways, right, Kyle?
Exactly. Gotta love it. All right. Well, on that note, like I said, thank you so much. It's been awesome. We learned a ton. you know.
So we're really ending on the urine note?
Well, no. We won't have to end on the urine. So.
All right.
No. John's got a whole spiel. And
No. I was actually kidding because of ending on the urine thing, so I didn't want to do that. No, so all right. So let's wrap it up by saying what's coming out non-creek / vomit or urine.
Put a that's comment before we move on.
There we go. Oh, that's good. Wee lime pie. There we go.
Oh boy. Maybe I will chug this one.
I think you might want to actually.
Wow.
So you want to get the switchblade out and cut the hole and pop it.
Yeah. I missed that.
You missed that.
That would be a
that
great
opportunity. Yeah.
We John, put this down. We need to get someone to do that on the show.
We're gonna have to have that happen.
We need to get a.
And I think
brewery
I know
employee.
just the person for that.
No, he'll never do it.
Oh, he will. We'll make.
Don't
him
say his
I'm
name.
not saying his name, but he will do it.
No, he
Can't say
won't.
his name. Well, we can say his name twice. We can't say it 3 times.
Just can't say it. He won't do it. I guarantee he won't do it unless we're doing it.
He'll do it. Well, no, we'll have to do it too, but he'll do it. So.
He'll still claim, and it doesn't matter how much beer he leaves in the can. He'll claim he won the chug.
Of course. Well, in any event.
Anyway,
what's on the horizon this year, other than those couple of summer releases that Joe was talking about before? What's coming out in what's the big bang for the fall and heading into beer season, if you will, and
Yeah.
not that we want to rush the summer. We want the summer, but
No, I'm always thinking months ahead with this kind of business. We're always like, we keep releasing our seasonals earlier and earlier, which sucks in one way because you're always like living for 3 months from now. But
sure, absolutely.
But no,
it's the industry.
Yeah, it is what it is. So our pumpkin beer, Punkless Dunkel, has been one of our most popular, seasonals. We can't, you can't deny it. It keeps growing every year.
It's good beer. It's good beer.
Every year people say pumpkin beer's dead, and ours keeps growing. So we're gonna keep doing it.
It's not though. It got to a point. It's less than it had been several years ago, but it got to a point. But it's definitely much higher than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
So.
and I mean, and people are sticking to the ones that I think they want and are
Sure.
good. There might not be as many crazy variants, but ours is a Dunkelweizen base, an Imperial Dunkelweizen, which is unique for the style. Usually, it's more of like some random amber ale for the most part. So that's coming out when we're going to release that. Like, we'll have it out. You'll start seeing it like early August. Which we use.
That's whoa. That's about a month and a half late for a pumpkin.
I know. Sam Adams,
You're late in the game.
out on the shelf.
Jim
right
Cook is releasing his beer in about 2 weeks. He's releasing it.
I know. It hurts my heart, but we used to wait until like the last minute, and we just make so much of it. We gotta get out earlier. So that and our Creek Fest beer, which is our Marzen style, our Oktoberfest beer, that'll be out in the summer. We're making a lot
For your Oktoberfest is out.
Oktoberfest.
This is working.
4th of July. You can grab that beer.
You get it.
Seeing your timeline here, it's a little skewed.
Put it in the back of the fridge with your PBR, and you save it.
Save it. You bring it up. You got it already. You don't have to go to the store in September. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
So we got those. Those are like our big fall seasonal.
What about freshness dating?
Well, you get it, and it's close enough.
Yeah. It's not like it's a dry hopped hazy
I'm not worried
zero IBU
You don't have
IPA.
you don't have any hop fade.
Right,
and especially Punkless Dunkel. I mean, this is convenient for a salesperson, but it actually does taste a little bit better when it's a little older.
No, you know what? It absolutely does. There's a lot of.
You taking notes there, Joe?
I've actually opened up a can that was a year old, and it tasted very good. I sat on one. I sat on one for 1 year, and
Dave,
did it hatch?
he said, was Catherine questioning why you sat on a beer for a year?
What are you? You've been here for a year. What are you doing?
Dave, what's my favorite pumpkin, Dave?
I can't freaking remember.
Come
that
on,
crap.
you know.
Yeah, no, forgot.
Whole hog.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot that.
Whole hog. I just said it. Whole hog.
I know, but I completely forgot that. It's
whole hog.
And
I've had a year old.
In about 15 minutes, I'll forget it again.
I'm sure you will. I've had a year old whole hog, and it was just as good as it was the year before.
Because you know how I feel about pumpkin ales.
I know. But you have them. You have one or two here and there. You'll take them.
Yeah, I'll drink Warlock.
Right.
I like it, like that first cool night.
Right.
Like you feel like it's fall and you're hanging out. Maybe there's a fire.
The first fire pit night,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
You know, I'm not buying a case myself, but God bless the person that does. I don't know.
No, I get it.
But the other thing, I mean, Joe's was drinking a beer from our variety pack. I'd say keep an eye on our variety packs. We're doing a couple different beers in each one of those every quarter. So there'll be different stuff in each one of those. New stuff, old stuff, like some throwback beers. And then the big thing leading up to next year, we're working on a rebrand for our 10th anniversary. So we're, TBD on that.
Rebrand across the board, or
Yep.
Less now with less vomiting.
less vomiting.
That's the new
Shamany Creek.
tagline.
Now with less vomiting.
That's the tagline. But yeah, no, I'm super excited about that stuff.
Variety
Good.
packs.
You can have that. That's
They're 12-ounce cans or 16s.
12 ounce
They are
cans.
okay.
That's what
You don't do any.
variety.
You. Everything is well. I mean, the smaller stuff is 12 ounce, but you do the 16s and the shape and the hazy stuff and all of that's all in 16s.
Generally, the one-off releases are 16, and our core stuff tends to be 12.
Gotcha. And the beach fuzz and the sand dollars or summer dollars, that's
12
ounces. 12s, yeah.
Yep.
12s, yeah. Gotcha.
We try to make sure the styles, like, for some reason, a wit should be in a 12 ounce.
Sure.
And I can't.
Sure. Plus
I
a
can
lighter
fits-
ABV, a sour, something like that, a summer ale that you want to drink 12 ounces. You don't want in 90-degree heat when you're drinking it. You don't want to drink 16 if you're drinking it out of the can or in the glass or whatever. 12 is it lends better to the temperature.
And like Joe said with Beach Fuzz, like that's like people will buy a case of that beer because it's great for summer. So like they'll be more likely to buy a case of 12 ounce than 16 ounce for, humans are weird. We do weird things with that.
Oh yeah, you don't have to tell anybody here that. That's true. So
Joe, did you mute so you could belch?
I cleared my
I
throat.
think he cleared his throat. Yeah.
I cleared my throat. I've also
There's,
muted because I have a child and dogs. And
Well, we heard the dog. You should not mute for dogs or children.
No
Well,
for dogs or children.
maybe just not dogs.
I have two children upstairs, and I haven't heard either of them, so I'm like concerned.
I
I've told this to many people. When they're making noise, all is well.
yes.
When things go silent, run.
Yeah.
Figure out, yes, you need to run.
You know what?
Yes.
I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids as well, but none of them live here, and they're all in their 20s. So it's
Oh wow!
We're
one
good to go.
one just graduated college.
One just graduated college last week. Congratulations to my daughter Rachel.
Congratulations, Rachel. Yeah.
Cheers, Rachel.
That sounds nice. None
Absolutely.
of them.
And the
So that was fun. And then of course we actually did attend. We after we attended the graduation. She graduated from TCNJ. So afterwards we asked her where she wanted to go, and she wanted to go just 12 minutes away from campus. She wanted to go to dinner at a Coopetation brewery of yours, and that would be Vault.
Hey,
So we went to Yardley.
great pizza there.
Yep,
yeah.
great.
Did you get the Buffalo Brown Sugar?
I did not get the Buffalo Brown Sugar. She did actually, and
Okay.
she got the raspberry chipotle chicken bites too. They were very.
I
very
like
good.
the gorgonzola pear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
We split the mushroom pie, and I had the waffle grilled cheese.
Nice.
Had to have that.
I am 5 minutes from Vault, so I'm familiar with the menu. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we were there for several hours on Friday night after the graduation.
How'd you get home?
It was 11:30, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. But no, it was fun. It was fun. So
Nice.
Anyway, but so on that note, guys, great. Kudos. Keep us posted on everything. We'll have you on again, especially towards the 10th anniversary reband. We'll definitely bring it back for when you want to announce anything or anything like that. But kudos to that. Good luck with the summer. Thanks for coming on. This has been awesome. We learned a lot more than we knew about the Shamany Creek, and it was awesome. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
absolutely. Yeah,
Now that I've unfrozen.
Now that you've unfrozen, there you go. So, guys, don't go anywhere. I'll read a spiel, but we got to. We'll hang out afterwards. We'll talk for a second. Stay right where you are. We'll wrap the show up for today. On that note, we want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lageroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night at 6:30. And for those of you that just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and Stitcher. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Guys, thank you once again for coming on. It's been awesome.
Absolutely.
Great conversation. That was awesome. Thanks for everything.
And Joe, one of these days we'll meet face to face.
And yeah, exactly.
Possibly.
We've known each other for a while.
We got to see how long this can go before you two actually do physically meet. You know, it's like one of those, like, I've never seen him live before. Does he exist? You know, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thanks for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Have a safe Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
And don't forget, it's not just about barbecues. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and enjoy yourselves. But, you know, do your
remember why we have the day off.
Remember why we have the days as well, okay? And drink a lot, but drink a lot of good beer, but drink responsibly, and we will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.
Bye, folks.
Cheers.